Hey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Blossoms. Yeah. Part 2. um, yeah, in Saito's route, in chapter 1 still, and we just had a battle with our dad, and Amagiri came because it's Amagiri ex machina. Like, that's seriously, I mean, he comes along and saves our ass all the fucking time. Every once in a while, Sen does, but 90% of the time, it's fucking Amagiri like, hey, we gotta peace out, time's up. It's like, I just don't. He keeps the plot going because otherwise our ass would have been married to Kazama and we'd be popping out babies right now. Like, that's all I'm saying. But yeah. So, and we were just going back to the compounds, and Saito's gonna just be like, about blood, probably because we already read just then and then saw this. But sorry, I had to cockblock you a little, kinda, because we just had to end it. That part was long. Anyway, Saito collapsed to his knees, and I sprinted up to him worriedly. Enough. If I remain still, this will pass soon. No! All of the color in Saito's face began to drain. In fact, he looked the furthest thing from fine. Sweat dripped from what seemed like every pore in his body, and his pupils, too. His pupils dilated? His pupils also dilated twice their size? That's not... Okay. Tim, anyway. He must need... You need blood, don't you? Are you having an episode right now? Saito spit out a wad of saliva, refusing at first to confirm what I'd suspected. That's gross, don't spit at me. With strained movement, he began to clutch his breast tightly as a method of dealing with the pain. I'd never seen Saito in a condition such as this. If we remained out in the open, there was no telling who may stumble upon the two of us. Hurriedly, I grabbed Saito's arm and led him into the refuge of the house. What should I do? Oh! So, if we make him endure it, that's a bad ending. If we give him medicine, it does nothing. And we're supposed to give him blood. So we're gonna give him blood because that's what we are supposed to fucking do, apparently, in order to get a good ending. And that's what we're going for first, so... Heisuke suggested the best way to cope with the symptoms was by drinking human blood. There was no time to dwell. Ooh. I unsheathed my kodachi, sliding the cold edge of the metal across the tip of my finger. Slowly, thick crimson droplets began to slide from the length of my finger before landing onto the wooden floor. I timidly offered my bloody finger to Saito, just a little finger. He's like, what is that? It's like, that's not even a shot glass of wine, Jesus. I timidly offered my bloody finger to Saito, who had watched me sheepishly cut my own self. Oh, he's probably like ashamed of himself. Saito, please drink my blood. Saito gave no reaction at first, and his brow furrowed as if he were wrestling in silent deliberation. Don't worry about this cut. I'm a demon. The flesh will seal itself in no time. See, it's already healed. But if you don't drink my blood, then you're only going to feel worse. Please don't think of me. Please. I watched Saito's mind work as I urged him to drink, and finally, he eagerly grabbed a hold of my hand. He hesitantly put his soft lips against the open cut, sipping slowly at first, before sips turned into deep gulps. How are you gulping blood from a finger? That's all I'm saying. His Adam's apple bounced rhythmically as he sucked with more force, and then his breathing calmed. Eventually, without a sound, he pulled his wet mouth from my wrinkly fingertip. But even... Well, okay, so they didn't do it in the game, but in the anime, I think there's a part where Sana actually does get a taste of her blood. I think because she, like, cuts her hand or whatever, and he kind of loses his mind, like, whatever. But, and he's like, wait, her blood calmed me down. So, like, that's the whole thing. It's not just human blood, it's her blood, like, calms them down. So, like, that's kind of, like, cute in a weird kind of way. Like, it's kind of creepy because you're like, well, okay, if we were in, like, a vampire fucking Otome game, Diabolic Lovers, I'm looking at you. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, oh, okay, like, well, that one's fucked up. But, oh, okay, you're their lover, you're giving them blood. Okay, fine, that's... But, I mean, it's weird because you're like, oh, have my blood. Well, you're a vampire, sorta. They're semi-vampires, so I guess it's fine. But it's actually kind of cute when and it's like, it's not just because it's human blood that I'm giving you, it's because I'm special and I'm a demon, and like, they like calms you down. Like, that's adorable. Like, and kind of gross because you're like, ew, you're drinking blood. But I guess if you were a vampire, it'd be totally fine. So, I mean, if I were a vampire, I'd drink blood and I'd be like, whatevs. So, because I'd be a vampire, but like, I'm not. So, gross. Yeah. See, you look far better. I'm happy that you took the chance. Saito's cheeks blushed, and he scurried off to the side to avoid making eye contact. Aww. He blushed. We don't see it, but... Your finger... Does it hurt? No, it's already sealed back up. Sealed. It sounds gross. I mean, it's technically what happened, but it just sounds like so, like, it's sealed. Just when you're thinking of a cut in your finger and it's the skin sealing, it just... I don't know why, it just seems like, Instead of like, it's healed, or, you know, the wound's closed, or the wound healed itself. That's different. The wound sealed. Blech! I don't know why those two things together just sound like creepy to me. Anyway, I suppose having my powers comes in handy from time to time. There was a pause, and Saito scratched his head tepidly, thinking of ways to respond. Time to take our leave. He delivered his suggestion curtly before stepping out. I knew that he just couldn't help himself, but it was understandable to think drinking another person's blood was something to which he still required some adjustment. Of course, there was no better way to treat those awful symptoms, so I couldn't blame him at all. Those are the only choices we get in Chapter 1. This better not be the end of Chapter 1, because I'm going to be fucking livid. Like, are you serious? We haven't even made out yet. Saito and I had safely returned back to our base. I know we'll get it eventually, but it better not be like fucking... Chapter 4, you know, like the last thing that happens is he kisses you. What? I'm assuming this is going to take place over multiple years, so if it takes 8 fucking years, I did my waiting, 12 years of it! In this fucking game, you thought it was Azkaban, but it's worse. This is Azkaban. We're in fucking Azkaban prison, and our brain is being sucked by dementors, and we're trying to be happy, but you won't kiss me, motherfucker. This is my hell right here. This is, I would be in Azkaban, and this is what the Dementors would be doing. It wouldn't make me feel, they'd be like, I'm here with you, and I love you, but you won't kiss me. What the fuck? Right here. Anyway, Saito and I had safely returned back to our base. Oh, there you are, Saito. And Yukimura is with you as well. Were you out for long? Oh, Shimada. Oh. You're not dead. That's good. Oh, Shimada welcomed us back warmly, but I wasn't sure how to answer his question discreetly. Kai Shimada, an officer in the Shinsengumi, as well as a spy with the Watch. He has been with the Shinsengumi from the beginning and has been involved with all incidents in Kyoto, such as the Battle of Ikeda. I don't know if Yamazaki's dead in this route. I can't remember which ones he died in. He died in, like, most of them. There was a business Yukimura saw fit to attend, and I had acted as her escort. I hear commotion. Something occurred. Oh, Chief Gondo has returned. Chief, Shinsengumi Chief, a position that oversees the administrative and strategic organization of the group. Let's go run, because he's stepdad. You know, because Inoue was our dad. Inoue was our fake dad, but he's dead, so Kondo is our next best thing. Kondo, really? Indeed. It seems like an assembly is going to be gathered very soon, so keep sharp. Very well. Understood. Hurry, Yukimura. Neither the chief nor the commander need to wait on our behalf. There's your last boyfriend, no. I bet you missed him. Not as much as I miss Saito, bitches. Shut up. Look. Saito's route is setting us up for the hell that's going to be Hijikata's when we get to the end, and it's like, oh my god, you blinked at me in 4 years, that's it, what the fuck? Saito touched our hand. Like, whatever, like, we got nothing, but he's a robot. Hijikata is like, oh my god, you really are a marshmallow, but I'm waiting for the squishy inside. I mean, we kind of saw it, but not that much. Ugh. Gonna be the only thing, like, that's the route we'll do last, and it'll be like, no kiss for you at all. No, I know we get them. I know we do, because if we don't, I swear to God, I'm packing my shit, I'm going to Japan, I'm gonna knock on their door and be like, what the fuck? to Idea Factory. I will go to your Idea Factory. I will come up in your fucking house and I will mess your shit up. You don't cockblock me, motherfuckers. I'm kidding. I love you. They were like, well, you get kissed and you get all that shit, but just in the second game because, like, we split it into two and, like, that was a shock, let me tell you. I mean, you got used to it after Saito's, right? You're like, oh, this is how it's gonna go. But that first one, man, that's a doozy. Anyway. In the meeting room, Kondo, Hijikata, and the rest of the Shinsengumi captains had already gathered. All right, this is everyone. Let us begin this meeting. I don't remember Kondo's voice. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Now, as I'm sure many of you are wondering, we're set to mobilize against the Imperial Army. That's not his voice. I can't do it anyway. Imperial Army, 2. A specific reference to a core battalion of capable infantrymen who use Western military techniques and advanced weaponry in the latter stages of the Boshin War. Is this where we get makeovers? Do we get magic anime girl makeovers? Like, are we gonna see, like, you know, clothes flying and spinning thing? Like, please, I need that. Like, that'd be great. I would laugh my fucking ass off if they did that in this game because it wouldn't fit at all. He'd be like, what is this? But it'd be awesome. Our next orders are taking us to Kofu. Kofu? Kofu? Okay. We're going to storm Kofu Castle. Kofu Castle. Kofu Castle. Fushimi. That's not as much fun as Fushimi, but Kofu Castle is like it as well. Kofu, a territory surrounding Edo under the jurisdiction of the shogunate that is generally regarded to be the land protecting Edo Castle. No specific lord governs this plot of land. Kofu Castle. Ieyasu Tokugawa established this castle as the last line of defense to protect Edo's borders. Toshi, explain it to them. Our reasons for heading to Kofu is telling those Imperial Army bastards where Lord Yoshinobu's allegiance is. Allegiance. Bastards. I wanted so much more from you the first time you spoke. Like, fuckers would have worked great for me, but anyway. Yoshinobu Tokugawa, the 15th Commander-in-Chief of the Tokugawa Shogunate. After restoring political power to the imperial court, he serves as the feudal lord of the Tokugawa clan, stripped of his previous standing. And we're gonna take back Kofu and hold it from anyone stupid enough to get in our way. From the front, at least. But first and foremost, we're gonna reclaim Kofu Castle by fleshing out all those imperial forces. To make the stakes higher, if we're successful, then we can keep Kofu Castle for ourselves. We have no choice but to give it our all. We get a castle? Yay! Can I get a pony then? What? No? No pony? Okay. Oh, and there's something else that I must bring to your attention as well. Kondo crossed his arms, gazing around the room in proud awe at each of his men. It was clear that he was building anticipation, ever the master showman. I cherished the times when Kondo would show his more youthful, excitable side. We're getting new uniforms and haircuts! Woohoo! Makeover! He's like, we're getting makeovers! You get a makeover, and you get a makeover, and Yamazaki doesn't get a makeover because he's dead. That's probably why he doesn't get a makeover, if you think about it, because they're like, what's the point? He's dead in like 90% of the routes. Sonnen, like, you get a new outfit, but you don't get a makeover otherwise. I mean, you couldn't take his glasses off, right? But I mean, you could have done something with his hair, but I like his hair. It's pretty. I know they all have kind of pretty hair, like, but, you know, like, it's super long, but it doesn't go with the uniforms. And then they, like, chop it, and it's, like, shaggy, and still, it's medium length, but. It would be really funny if they, like, totally chopped fucking, like, all of Sonnen's hair. They probably tried doing it, and they were like, this doesn't work, just give him the same one. Or they literally were like, do we have to even change anything on him? Because, like, what up? I don't know why they think of him as such a side character. I love him. He's our glasses asshole. He was so nice and soft and sweet, and then he got his arm injured to become a fury. Now he's a dick, and it's like great. Come on, what is it? Don't leave us all hanging. We come out with it already. I did not do his voice right. Fuck it. Always so impatient, Hagakura. With that attitude, I don't know how you'll make it working in a castle. Kondo chuckled at his own remark before clearing his throat to resume his more official tone. I swear to God, I think all their voices just sound the same now. Like, I'm losing it. Whatever. I'm proud to say that with this mission, I've been promoted to the title of Executive Lieutenant Minister. Which means that... Okay, that is so not Kondo's voice. What happened? What is wrong with me? Oh, anyway. Daimyo. He's now a daimyo. Okay, anyway. Executive Lieutenant Minister. A position in the shogunate government that was involved in supervising samurai below the rank of daimyo, as well as other vassals of the shogun. Daimyo. Daimyo. I can never say that. I don't know. You know it by now, anyway. A powerful samurai who ruled the fiefdom. Oh. And commanded vassals of his own. They served the shogun directly. Fiefdom. Oh, I think that's a word you learn, like, in, like, middle school. In, like, some kind of history class, and then you just forget until all of a sudden you're reading a game and you're like, whoa, what the? Okay. Wow. Last from the past. It's like expecting me to do long division. Not gonna happen. On top of that, I've been given a new name. Wait. No. Wait, what? Tsuyoshi Okubo? What do y'all think? Rather befitting for a warrior, wouldn't you say? No, you're Kondo. I can't call you Okubo. Kondo blushed a bright red with glee, and I'd never seen him so enthusiastic before, but none of the other captains, Nagakura especially, seemed to share in his enthusiasm. I was really hoping we were going to get makeovers. Surprisingly, all of them looked dejected, as if they were given something bitter to eat. So, fellas, all you start preparing to leave for Kofu as soon as possible. How well we do out there will reflect my evaluation with the Shogunate. I have nothing but high hopes for each and every one of you. I can't do his voice. What happened to me? I don't know. All right, you're dismissed. Should we give him the I want to give him the, Ito voice now, because I can't do his voice anymore. As soon as the assembly finished, Kondo walked with a spring in his step, whistling as he exited the room. He's all excited as no realize that they're all like, oh. Why, you're so glum? Because, dude, what a fucking makeovers. Wow, Kondo sure is elated to have been given such an honorable promotion and a new name. Could you imagine? Hey, you got a promotion at your job. You have a new title and you have to change your name now. That would be confusing. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen Kondo that happy before. Well, you haven't seen Kondo that happy before because that's not Kondo anymore. Whatever his new name is. Kondo began in a small dojo. So it's only natural to express elation when your efforts are recognized and are promoted thusly. So if we win this battle, Kondo mentioned that we could keep Kofu Castle. So if that were to happen, then I mean you and the other captains would start working within the castle, right? It was hard to imagine for a person like me who had been born into civilian life, but for a reason I couldn't place, Saito felt less than thrilled about this prospect, and I felt bad. The castle seems rather ambitious for me. My skill is in the gift of taking life. He's so sweet and adorable, and then he's like, my skill's in murdering people. And you're like, every time you say things like this, it feels unexpected, even though we should expect it by now. But again, he was like, this is like the second time he's been like, I'm just straight up murdering bitches. And it's like, I expect this from Okita, not from you. After saying that, Saito's eyes thinned, and he gazed toward the sky, which was empty of stars. We were inside, though. How are you gazing at the sky? Okay. Thinking about it then, I wondered how Saito himself came to join the Shinsengumi. I had been working with him for so long, and I realized I barely know who he is, but you're so fucking in love with him. But if I were to make the effort in asking him, then I'm sure he wouldn't have given a straight answer. Man, the hell is Kondo thinking? I don't remember signing up to become his servant. Daimyo or whatever it's called, he needs to chill out. If this were 30 or 40 years ago, it'd be one thing. But to get promoted from the current shogunate... Neither Nagakura nor Harada seemed excited by Kondo's news. Saito, I had noticed, seemed fixed on the two of them as they ranted, wearing his usual expressionless gaze. War was about to erupt. I prayed that everyone would return safely. Again, is what you mean. War's already on, bitch. Like, war was about to continue, basically. We're in chapter 2 already. March of 1868. Is this really just going to be like over the course of a year? I'm okay with that. But like, chapter 2, we haven't made out yet. Guys, we're like halfway through the game already. This is only going to be like 5 parts. This is going to be the shortest. Anyway. Springtime brought with it the bloom of new life. The Shinsengumi had renamed themselves as the Koyo Regulatory Company. Yeah, Koyo. Koyo Regulatory Company, and departed from Edo. The KRC. It's a little too close to KFC for my liking. Koyo Regulatory Company, a name bestowed by the shogunate unto the Shinsengumi prior to their mission to capture and hold Kofu Castle as a temporary means of legitimizing their organization. Now we can't call them the Shinsengumi, we're going to literally be the Koyo Regulatory Company. Can we just... Sanan and Heisuke decided to stay behind in Edo, along with what remained of the Fury Corps. My first assumption was that I would remain behind with them, but for some reason, Hijikata saw fit to command me to march beside the Koyo. I can't... my brain sees the K and the U, and I would say like Q, like, or like Kyo, and not Koyo. I don't know why I see the K and the Y together in my brain and miss the letters. Anyway, Regulatory Company. Saito was assigned to watch over me, making this experience altogether not much different than how things had been when we were in Edo. There was one rather large change, however, which was... Yay! Makeovers! Man, who'd have thought there'd ever be a day where I had to dress in Western clothes? Wearing fucking pants, man. Shit's restrictive. I know, right? Can't just feel the breeze on your nuts. They wore pants, but they were like, dude, they were wearing like, you were like advanced. They were like, we're wearing pants that people in the 70s are gonna fucking wear, like giant. Like you can barely tell the difference between their pants and a skirt, is all I'm saying. Anyway, Hijikata does have an eye for flair. I suppose it's easier to get around in this getup when there are bullets flying at you. Look at how fine our fucking boys are. Look at this shit. Look at it. There's like vests and fucking shirts upon shirts. Like, this is like a fucking vest, motherfucker. And this is like a shirt and a shirt. It's just, I love it. And they even, okay, you know what? You got the sauna treatment though, because you didn't get to change your hair at all, but that's okay. You didn't even, like, not even that. Look at your hair. Okay, your hair's not too much different, to be honest with you. It was a little bit longer, but like... And he's like, I'd be like, I'm actually enjoying myself. Like, I quite like it. Yeah, you all look fine as fuck. This is great. This is like eye candy central. Like, you were cute, great, and awesome before, but like, I love it. Every once in a while, you need to change outfit. Jeez, these are a pain in the ass to put on. Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many layers. Especially this thing right here. What is it? It's called a button. I had no idea how the hell to use it at first. That's fucking adorable. I love it. It's adorable. But I imagine it's the same thing like when zippers were invented. People are like, what the fuck is this thing? Like, you know. But that's just cute. A button. What is a button? Aw! It's adorable! I love it. But it'd seriously be like us, like Japan would have something and we'd be like, what is that? That's weird. And they'd be like, you're cute, America. You don't know how to do this. Because we don't. Like, you're cute, America. You don't know how to eat with chopsticks. Really, I don't. I've been trying, though. Look, I managed to eat noodles 2 days in a row with fucking chopsticks. I'm a fucking master, okay? Because let me tell you something. It's hard. I don't have enough dexterity in my hands to hold chopsticks. It's, like, physically impossible. And, like, so I tried, and I'm like, well, now we understand, like, you know, like, in Western cultures, we, like, you know, you gotta have enough, you don't slurp your noodles, you twirl it around your fork with your spoon if if you're fancy and like whatever, and then you put it all in your mouth at once. No, that's why Japan doesn't fucking do that shit. That's why they're like, slurp your fucking noodles. There's no other reason to like, do you know how fucking hard it is to pick up noodles with chopsticks, bitches? I'm gonna get noodles, I'm gonna just suck them all up in my face. Fuck you. Because that shit's hard. That's why they do it. There's no other reason. There is no other reason. It's like, have you tried eating noodles with chopsticks, bitch? It's fucking hard. You just get all those noodles on the chopsticks, you jam it in your face, and suck them all in. That's what you do. Anyway. After embarking from Edo, many of the men were given a new Western-style uniform to wear. Hee hee! Show boyfriendo. I found them rather dashing, despite how form-fitting all the accessories and garments were, compared to Japanese clothing. But everyone had their doubts. I found them despite how Spacey. I found them rather dashing, especially how form-fitting all of the accessories and garments were. Ahem. I fixed that for you. Despite how form-fitting. No, that's nice. You're like, oh, you have a cute butt. Now you get to, it's like baseball uniforms. Like, nobody likes baseball. Okay, I mean, it's boring as shit to watch. It's so boring. So boring. So boring. But they wear tight pants, so I mean, like, if you're gonna go for anything, I'm not. I say that, but like, I'd be like, no. Someone would be like, but they wear tight pants. I don't care. I don't want to go to like, but I'm just saying. That's usually why women probably don't care if their husbands are watching sports. They're like, whatever, they're all wearing tight pants. I'm just saying. These are our boys wearing form-fitting pants. Do you think we're complaining? I am not. Girl, despite how no, you like it. You know it. Oh God, wait. I gotta fan myself. Ready? Hey, Saito, how do those tight sleeves fit on you? Are they hard to move in? Look at this, we got a pan up. But look, he's so, like, everyone else, like, shirts all unbuttoned. He's all like, totally buttoned up, stuffed. Look at, oh my God, but you're adorable. I love you so much. Not particularly. I think these clothes have buttons instead of sashes to fasten things together. It appears so. This had been my first opportunity to see Saito adorn his Western uniform, but I had to say, he looked quite handsome. I know, right? They all do. God, I love it. Of course, I was a little taken aback to see that he had cut inches off his hair, but Saito, rather unsurprisingly, was difficult to read, and I wasn't sure if he was upset by it or not. They all cut their hair, but like, she's like, you chopped your hair, but it still hangs in you. He's like, I kept the important part that hangs in my face, so I only have one eye. Huh? Saito, I think you forgot to button those last two right there on your pants. Let me undo them for you. I mean, what? That is by design. Look at him smiling. Maybe, but I think those two holes are there so that you can slip those last two buttons in. I think that you've missed a couple. Are we gonna help him fix his clothes? Look at that look on his face. He's like, the fuck do you think you're doing? I'm gonna fix your fucking clothes. I'm gonna take them off and re-put them back on. I'll do this. I'll dress you, honey. I'll dress you. Hearing this, Saito quietly dropped his eyes to peek at the aforementioned buttons on his new coat. His cheeks flushed with color as he bit his lip. That's adorable! He doesn't even have to put a coat on! I mean, again, I wouldn't know how to put on a kimono. Okay, I wouldn't fucking know how to do it. Like, so again, if this game were reversed and it was like fucking Western people trying to put on kimonos and be like, I can't figure out how to do this, Japanese people would be like, that's so cute! You don't know how to do this! I hope they think we're cute that we don't know how to do shit. Like, they're like, dude, fucking easy. Turn it on, it's on. But you're like, I don't know how to do this shit. Like, I don't know how to walk in those sandals. What the fuck? And socks and girl. But I love it. They're like, I don't know how to work buttons. It's so charming. I love it. I will tend to it later. Oh, I'm so sorry. If it doesn't bother you, then don't worry about it. It's fine either way. You're gorgeous. I love you. He's blushing. He's blushing. Judging by his reaction, it seemed getting Saito to feel comfortable would be like pulling teeth. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen Kondo around recently. Did he not join our convoy? Oh, look at Soma! Look at how adorable he is with his, like, little cravat up in here. Oh, look at you! Not a frilly lace cravat, but it's like, whatever. Is that technically what they're called? It's not an ascot. That's different. Isn't it? I don't know. Whatever. Whatever, you're neckerchief, okay? I believe Chief Kondo is still in the Hino area. Hino, a rural town located at the edge of Koshu Kaido, beside Bushu and Tama. Jesus, throw all those words at me at once. It's the location where Hijikata was raised, and it's famous for its inn. Hino? Bet you anything he's having a drink with the new recruits. Shit, it's getting through his head. What's going through his head? What is this to him? Are we marching into battle or are we taking a mini vacation? Aw, come on. No need to be like that. I think it's been years since he's seen his wife or daughter. Give the guy a break. He deserves it. Oh my god, that's right. He actually... Well, I mean, we knew he was married, but I was like, is she dead or something? Oh my god. That's adorable. He's been living away from his family. Oh, poor Kondo. That's so cute. Look, I'm not giving him shit for having a drink. All I'm saying is maybe there's a time and place for everything. Nagakura's sour rant consequently made the mood around his general vicinity lower, especially for some of the new members. I snuck a glance over at Saito, who was walking quietly beside me, his stride almost step for step with mine. Do we get a new uniform? I want to see us in a uniform instead of the little pink kimono that we always wear. I want to see us in like a cute little fucking Western boy uniform. I think we'd look adorable with our stupid derpy saucer eyes that are way too goddamn big. Although he wouldn't have been one to express much, I noticed his brows locked in a furrowed position. There's something heavy on his mind. Eventually, Hijikata loudly barked at the convoy to halt from the front, stopping to face us. Are you ready for the Hijikata? God, I love it! It's almost like he's got arm warmers on, guys. I love it! I love the new uniforms! Oh my god, and honey, are you wearing a pocket watch? What's with the chains? Oh! All these are sexy as fuck. I love it. You good, Yukimura? Figured you'd be a little tired about now. I'm fine, thank you. Hey, sorry for springing the order for you to join us so suddenly. Oh, I don't mind at all. But I wondered. She's like, I don't mind at all. Your tight pants are great. I mean, nothing. Is it really okay for me to be marching out here with you guys? I read that weird. Just ignore it. I mean, I'm just a little worried that I could be a distraction on the battlefield. Especially with my uniform that's really tight and I'm wearing a string bikini. This is weird. Is this really what women in the West wear? Absolutely. And they're like, and everyone's like, she's a woman? I didn't know that. Hijikata's expression turned glum. He seemed to stroke his chin absent-mindedly, lost in a deep thread of concentration. You know, we're gonna get the makeover reveal in every path, and it's gonna be just as fucking grand. It's gonna be like, wait for it! Ah! We get to redo this every time. If possible, I would have preferred you to stay behind in Edo. Having you by yourself at the compounds would have been dangerous. Seemed like a better idea for me to bring you here, where I can watch you at least. Dangerous? Then Saito chimed in. It's so adorable. He looks so little compared to And you know what's adorable? Not only that, they look so tiny, all of them. Because when they're wearing all their kimonos and everything, you're like, wow, they're kind of they look bigger. You know what I mean? Just thicker, wider. And he is so delicate and skinny. Look at him, he's like a little twig. I just want to squeeze him. He's like a little bunny rabbit. Snow bunnies. You want to build a snow bunny? But you know what I mean? But also he's I love the fact that they're not all the same height, but I love when he stands next to Hijikata, you're like, look, you're so cute. Oh, I can't get over it. I love this so much. I love them so much. It's gonna kill me when this game ends. Is it Sonnen? Sharp as ever. Sharp as ever. That's right. He's been acting real weird lately. Seems like he's been scratching at the walls. Or maybe that fury bullshit has finally gotten to him. I was unsure of what to say. I too had experienced suspicious interactions with Sonnen that left me a little more uneasy than I would have liked. We haven't even seen him in this path yet, have we? Who have we not... We haven't seen Okita either. We have no idea what happened to Okita. Is he fucking dead? Did he just die and they didn't tell us? Like, where is he? Like, legit. Like, they've mentioned Sana and we haven't seen him. I don't think we did. Did we? Maybe in the beginning. No, I don't think we did. But, like, obviously, like, Kazama, Ryoma, we haven't seen. And Iba, because, like, they're not technically. And Yamazaki's probably dead, so. But, like, Okita left with Kondo, and they've never even mentioned, like, FYI, he died. Like, he's just. Shh. It's like we're not talking about Yamazaki or Inoue, because they're dead, so we're not talking about them. Is that why we're not talking about Okita? Is he motherfucking dead? Like. Because, like, legit in real life, he's motherfucking dead. But, like, at this time period, like, probably fucking dead. But, like, weird. Like, you kind of forget. Like, my brain in the very beginning was like, what happened to Okita? Like, and they never said anything. And then, like, you go an hour later, you're like, wait. Anyway. See, thing is, I didn't want to leave you back at the compounds and then later come to realize I made a huge mistake. Tagging along with us might be a pain in the ass, but I figured it'd be for the best in your situation. Sorry for the headache. Oh, please don't worry about me. At first, Hijikata's sudden orders confused me, especially because I was certainly no warrior, but you're like, oh, I was excited. I thought you wanted me because I'm helpful. He's like, ha ha ha, you're a pain in the ass. It appeared as though he had a lot to think about, which was understandable in his position. Commander, a minute of your time, please. What's up, Saito? That was so not the voice I wanted to give him. Anyway, Shinpachi and Sano appeared displeased with our orders to attack Kofu, especially in regards to Chief Kondo's behavior. Hijikata gave a wry smile. Displeased? Maybe more like disgruntled. Yeah, I noticed it. I mean, I don't blame him. We're going to war and Kondo spending his time drinking at inns probably isn't the most diplomatic move. Thing is, though, in our current predicament, we don't have the luxury of men lining up around the corner willing to join us. Here's the thing, though. Like, Kondo should be fucking with you. Like, he's like, oh, by the way, guys, go do this. And, like, what are you now, a prince? I mean, maybe that's his new role. He's like, oh, by the way, I don't have to do anything anymore. But it's like, wait, you're sending all these guys to die and you're not even with them? Dude. Wow. I mean, instead, we gotta use sake and cash to win them over. Oh, well, that's why he's recruiting, so he's getting people drunk and paying them. What? In the past, I was somewhat ignorant of their recruiting methods, but are men who are more easily swayed by the promise of alcohol and money the kinds of men our leaders expected to fight tooth and nail for the Shinsengumi? Not anymore, they're not the Shinsengumi. Please be honest. Do you believe we'll be victorious, Commander? Well, if we can get inside the castle and fortify it, we'll be all set. The castle. So if we're unable to penetrate it, then... You know, I'd seriously wish you'd give me something to smile about once in a while. To answer your question, if we can't get inside, then it doesn't look too good. Although the Shogunate leaders armed us with some guns and cannons this time around. They're nothing compared to the type of weapons the Satsuma and Choshu got. Do you anticipate our defeat, then? This is gonna be played pretty close to the chest for me. I'll work my ass off. I don't want to put Kondo through the same thing as last time. Sad thing is, though, war gives every idiot with a weapon an opportunity to use it. Hijikata turned his somber eyes to face the cumulus clouds, bunching into clusters overhead. But after a deep sigh, he faced Saito and me. There's no way I could let either Shinpachi or Harada hear this, but... Even I can't bring myself to tell anyone. There's no guarantee we'll win, but go ahead and risk your life for us. This was the first time I'd ever seen Hijikata express a moment of vulnerability. It was so unlike him to admit that the odds were stacked against them. I mean, don't you just want to hold him? But our other boyfriend's over here. We can't. I'm just gonna hold on, guys. I'm just gonna squeeze myself right in between this man sandwich. I'm gonna be the peanut butter in that bread. On top of this, how often had he found himself unable to show honesty to any of the captains, men that he spent many, many years fighting alongside? I also like that they're color-coded. Like, he's purple and he's blue. Like, I like it. I like the color coding them. Saito was stoic, and he gazed back at Hijikata with the face of a docile servant. Acknowledged. As usual, your skill in feigning the devil's advocate goes unnoticed. Oh, goes noticed. Yep, it's all in the duty. Later, we were encamped just off the trail, and within the tent, I laid awake restlessly. Hijikata's rather hopeless confession wouldn't stop stirring repeatedly in my head. From the corner of my eye, I saw Saito's sudden movement as he quietly exited the encampment. I wonder what's wrong. Did he have business to attend to? Maybe he needs to pee, girl. Let him go. Although it would have been better for me to leave him be, I was concerned that it had something to do with his health or condition, so I went to follow him. God damn it, Soma. Miss Yukamura, is something wrong? I'm worried about Saito. I'm going to make sure he's okay. Perhaps it'd be better if you let him be. Maybe he's just going off to speak with the commander or something. Maybe he's going to fucking pee. Would you let the man pee in peace? If that were the case, then I'd come right back. Do either of you mind keeping watch for me? With that, I ran after Saito. Where did he go? Ah, there he is. Saito stood alone in the middle of an open patch in the forest, silently staring towards the clear sky. The stars glowed intensely as if they were all on course to rain down upon him, and he stood mesmerized. He was as expressionless as ever, but his shoulders slumped below the twinkle of his melancholic eyes. A lonely display, I thought to myself. Just then... Oh! I accidentally brushed a branch, rustling the leaves behind which I was hiding. Rustling the leaves behind which I was hiding. Okay. I can read. No, I can't. Who's there? Saito's sharp voice cracked the silence. That was less dramatic than should have been. Like, who's there? I can't. You have until I count to 10, or else I'll slit your throat. He must have thought I was an enemy soldier spying on him. His tone was biting, and I could hear his hand wrapped around his katana's hilt. Well, wait, it's me. Ah, I love when you're in fighting stance. You're so hot. At once, I leapt from behind the shrub. When Saito had realized it was me, his expression became sullen. Oh. His expression became sullen. Like, wow, ow, ouch. It hurts, man. My chest pains. Why have you left the camp? Have you forgotten what happened last time? I'm sorry. It's just that I had a lot on my mind, and I couldn't fall asleep. And then I saw you leaving the camp, so... Saito hadn't reacted one bit whatsoever, keeping his stoic eyes locked on me as I explained myself. Look, I love you, goddammit, and I'm worried about you. Eventually, he just turned to look at the moon, gazing quietly at the soft, tender light. Why did you come here? Did you need some fresh air? I needed to be alone. Oh, I'll stay with you then. Saito didn't respond. Instead, he continued to stare into the sky, and his eyes thinned as if the stars were shining too brightly. Surely Saito was consumed with thoughts that tightly coiled within his heart. I felt a little guilty for interrupting this moment of solace, but... So what do you think, Saito? About what Hijikata said earlier, I mean. In what manner? Well, if things go the way Hijikata predicted them to, then we might end up losing this time around, right? Indeed, I assume. As he mentioned, the art of the sword is an archaic one. Our weapons are mere toys compared to those which are possessed by the Satsuma and Choshu. To further her embarrassment, the new recruits are quicker on the bottle than to the rifle. Then, why don't they find swordsmen? Ahem! Wow! Is your naivety so strong that you believe those who have killed before can walk freely in the streets, able to join our cause without retribution? Prowess in a dojo matters not. It's no simulation for a true battle. The only thing that matters is if you can kill when called upon. Saito was right. It didn't matter how many men were recruited. Without actual experience on the battlefield, we might as well have been sending men to their graves. Having both Hijikata and Saito describe in great detail just how dire our situation was, awoke within me a potent oppressive hopelessness. Aren't you scared, Saito? Entering the battlefield knowing that defeat could be likely? You you might die. In my heart, I realized how futile this question might have sounded, especially to someone like Saito, who, on numerous occasions, came face to face with death. He was a man who, without a shred of doubt, accepted death as his companion a long time ago. It was a bravery that I couldn't fathom. I do not fear death. His answer, perhaps unsurprisingly, was delivered indifferently. But he added something that I wasn't expecting. What does bring me fear is losing sight of that which I believe. In which I believe. What you believe in? His words were so obscure that it was difficult for me to extract any kind of meaning from them. After a calm pause, Saito looked me in the eye, taking a deep breath before asking me a question. Yes, I'll marry you. Just kidding. Do you know the warrior's other name? Other name? You mean like samurai? Saito shut his eyes and slowly shook his head. He's like, God, you're an idiot. Shh, don't be mean to me. A left side, because of the location in which warriors keep their swords. A samurai always walks to the left, no matter how narrow the street. Their katana is their soul, and it must never be touched by another person. Huh? But you're... Saito kept his sword on the right side of his hips, and he always unsheathed with his left, because most of them are probably right-handed. After giving it a second of consideration, I don't think I've seen anyone other than Saito who kept their sword on the right side. I was born left-handed. This quality made it challenging for me to join any dojo, and I received neither license nor... Kirikami? License, a document signifying mastership of all disciplines within a particular martial art, awarded to a student by their master. Oh, poor baby. He was treated like, no, you're not good enough because you're a lefty. Oh! You're almost like the redheaded bastard kids. You're like the ginger kid, except for you're a lefty. God, can you imagine if you were a lefty and a ginger kid? You should be lucky. Kirikami, a preliminary letter of military exemption. Its name comes from the tiny sliver of parchment onto which it's printed. Any attempt I made to hold the buckin was met immediately with an order to correct my hand. Time and time again I was told to change. However, those who dared to make such comments had never once defeated me in combat. Oh, he's like, I would be defeated easily if I tried to be righty, because fuck that shit. I learned something. Names mean nothing on the battlefield. Your skill precedes reputation, something neither sensei nor their assistants understood. Assistant instructor, a secondary educator in martial arts classes who leads exercises rather than develops curriculum. It can also be a title given to a master teaching a specific pupil. So, from whence does true strength come? A question I had pondered for years. Saito muttered to himself nonchalantly. However, learning how much he had overcome told me just how much this question meant to him. For years? And so does that mean you found an answer? Saito fell silent. Without another word, he unsheathed his sword, and the cold, shimmering moonlight reflected off the blade. It is simple. With the blade, whoever wins is the strongest. Simple, but to the point. Our era of peace has continued for nearly 260 years, so this petty conflict between samurai is a rare one. Even so, it's within a true warrior's nature to have their sword at the ready. At least, I believed it to be so. Saito's eyes glowed from the shine of the lit blade, but they still carried a thick darkness behind them. A tingling chill ran down the length of my spine. However, it appears as though this belief is mine to hold alone. Long before the Shinsengumi had been formed, a certain Hanamoto's disciple saw fit to challenge me to a duel, and his life was put to an end. What? Hanamoto was one of the elites in our society. To kill one of them in a duel, I imagine, would have been a serious offense. They offered the challenge, and I saw to it that their challenge was met. Despite my victory, however, I was charged with murder, and my samurai registry was revoked. Oh my god, we're learning so much about his backstory! Ironic, eh? Our purpose is to murder, and when such a purpose is put to the test, They brand us as criminals. Have you ever heard of such a contradiction? For many years, this was my burden to bear. The weight that Saito put behind each utterance of warrior was so heavy, as though his life was formed and guided by those standards alone. I doubt, sadly, that I would be able to find many who would find themselves in agreement with him. Despite having an unparalleled talent, he had no one to validate said talent. A frustrating fact indeed. His tragic lack of support instigated him to rely on his own measures for both strength and honor for validation, which were tricky to navigate. For once, I caught a glimpse of the utter loneliness that he had been nursing for most of his life. The Shinsengumi men, however, victory meant slaying their opponents before they had an opportunity to strike. Quite similar to the kind of warrior I had idealized. Upon meeting them at Shieho? Whatever. We know I can't say that. Anyway, it was the first instance in which I had felt as though there were people who understood me. Shieho, a dojo at Edo that taught the Tenin Rishin style of swordsmanship. It was owned by Asami Kondo, a fourth-generation head. Many of the Shinsengumi studied, trained, or lived here. Hearing Saito's story made me finally realize all that gave him strength and brought him strife. The Shinsengumi was the shelter and system of support that he had needed. Amongst the Shinsengumi, either Soji or myself holds the distinction of having killed the most men. However, this distinction brings with it no respect. Hey, we mentioned Okita for once. Only contempt or disgust. How is one to garner any recognition if your skill goes undervalued? All my life, I had spent time sharpening my claws, only to find they were useless all along. I know this to be true better than anyone. Meanwhile, Okita's like, I'll keep killing people, I don't give a shit. Maybe that's why he's so bitter. And like, I'll kill you. Fucking kill you. And he's so angry. And you're like, because you kill a lot of people and nobody respects you? You got anger problems. And meanwhile, Saito's over here like, oh, he's the gloomy one. Oh, I just want to hug him so much. I just want to grab him and pet him. It's okay, little bunny. It's okay. Don't be sad, buddy. Saito rotated the blade to make his reflection visible, and he gazed longingly at himself. Wow. Self-love much? Taking a closer look at his sword, I realized that it was quite thinner than some of what the other men had. I suppose he sharpened his blade religiously, wearing it out in combat until it was of no use at all. If what he said about his amount of kills were true, this must have happened dozens of times. However, this claw in particular is a testament to my perseverance. I'm undefeated on the battlefield, a distinction that seems to be all I have left. I gasped. When Saito drank the water of life, he said it was in order to protect me, but perhaps more than that, he was afraid of confronting what defeat could mean to himself, which served in the greater interest of preserving his pride. You're like, man, now, okay, see, I thought you took the water of life to protect us because maybe you loved us, and you're like, really, I just didn't want to, like, die on the battlefield because I've never lost, motherfucker. That makes me sad, yo. So this is what gave Saito the will to continue. Times have changed, however. A gun is quicker to kill than any well-trained swordsman can. When it means to wield the sword, all that we've sacrificed and trained for has fallen victim at the behest of the new generation of warrior. Saito bitterly bit into his lip, sheathing his sword back into its scabbard. For him, wielding the sword was the single most important honor any man could have. But the age of the blade was coming to its end. Beyond facing death or accepting the burden of becoming a fury, Saito's very way of life was threatened by the passage of time, and an inevitable deluge of change beyond himself. God, this would make anyone nervous, but to Saito, it meant a total reevaluation to the truths he had held dear for the entirety of his life. What could I possibly say to him? It's not like that! Maybe you're right. It's probably maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe a time will come when warriors are no longer needed in our world. Even Hijikata admitted that the sheer range and power of a rifle puts us at a huge disadvantage against the Satsuma and Choshu. They were too advanced. My response seemed to sting Saito, and he glared angrily toward the empty space beside us. But even if a time comes when samurai and katanas are no longer needed, it doesn't mean that you won't be needed too, Saito. What are you saying? His sour tone made me flinch a little, but I took a deep breath to articulate my position calmly. Like you said, swords are for killing. Blood has been spilled on your hands and certainly on your sword. But I disagree. Your sword also has the power to save lives. I, for one, am one of those who count themselves as lucky enough to have been saved by you. During the Battle of Toba Fushimi, and from further back and from my father back in Edo, if you hadn't been there, I would have been killed. At the end of the day, my word came from someone who lived a relatively sheltered life of privilege. I was under constant protection. All the same, I hope my words would do something to motivate and inspire Saito to retain his pride. Which is why I'm so very thankful for you, Saito. I appreciate you. It's not I'm thankful to you. I'm thankful for you. So cute. I appreciate you. Oh! No matter what happens in the world, even if it decides that it no longer needs the samurai, I'll always need you. That's so cute. I'll always need you. When she said, even if the world decides it won't need the samurai, I'm like, please tell me that you'll need him. Please say that this. Thank fucking Jesus. You saved my life. Saito's lips curled inquisitively, making it difficult for me to read how he was feeling. Once more, he turned away from me, staring into the darkness in contemplation. He's embarrassed because he's like, I fucking love you. Maybe what I said was out of line. Just as my anxiety began to flare, oh my god. Saito stroked his soft, slender fingers against the side of my cheek. Oh my god. Sweet fucking Jesus, why is... I could see the gorgeous dazzle of stars in his dark, mysterious eyes, which were stoically fixed on my own. Is something wrong, Saito? I was really hoping when it was like, he turned away, I was like, oh god, is he just gonna grab us and kiss us? This is close! This is close, I'm okay with this. He's a robot, so he stroked our face. He might as well have just shoved his tongue down our throat. That's the Saito move. Okay. This gesture startled me initially, and I nervously asked him why, but he remained silent, offering no answer with his words as much as his body language. He's so fucking beautiful. His eyes scanned me thoroughly, as if he were searching for something conspicuous, when... Finally, he spoke breathily. Your eyes, they're so sincere. Huh? Within them is no hint of deceit, as if your words are culled from the very essence of your soul. My God! Are you sure you're not the one who writes poetry? When I first visited Chiei Hall and challenged each of their enrolled students, everyone who observed me and mentioned how strong I was had the same twinkling eyes as you do. I entered a period of reflection, and perhaps by keeping true to myself, I would eventually carve a reason to wield my sword thusly. His voice was quiet as always. However, I sensed a small sense of relief in him, as he was less tense than when I had found him. Seeing him relax made my heart feel warm. So, let's keep our faith in the Shinsengumi then. They're the ones who recognized your strength before anyone else did. Strength that even you yourself were unaware of. Even if one day you no longer needed your sword, I'm sure that none of them would even think of abandoning you. Saito's eyes shot wide open in surprise. His mouth timidly formed into a slight curl, and he attempted an awkward but adorable smile. Awkward but adorable smile. That's so cute! He doesn't even know how to smile! I love our robot. Yes, so simple, isn't it? What? I wasn't sure what Saito was murmuring. Many thanks, Yukimura. With your assistance, I can see that which had eluded me in the past. It's still unknown, but I see it. Gratitude sounded strange coming from him, but there was no genuine. His hands lingered on my face a moment longer, and then he slowly drew them back. No, you're holding my face. This is the perfect time to kiss me. I love that. Few men are willing to put their lives on the line these days, even when their shogun orders them to. It was true. After all, the Supreme Commander himself had abandoned his troops at the first sign of trouble. Supreme Commander! A formal title reserved reserved for the Tokugawa shogun, considered the highest military rank in the entire shogunate military. That's why he's supreme. And moreover, even the Hideyoshi Daimyo, whatever, I can't say that word, fuck it. Hideyoshi Daimyo. And the Tokugawa affiliate Daimyo turned their backs on the shogunate. Oh, crap. Wait, I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. Rewind. Yes, sorry. I hit the wrong button. Okay. I hit the wrong button. Hideyoshi Daimyo. Whatever. Vassals who were loyal to the Tokugawa even before the Battle of Sekigahara. Tokugawa affiliate. Because that's Daimyo. Daimyo? But I don't know why my brain can't say it. Those who became feudal lords for being related to the Tokugawa clan. Okay. But at Toba Fushimi, Shinpachi volunteered to lead the attack, knowing full well it could mean his death. Kondo returned to the front lines the very moment his injured shoulder had healed. And even now, Hijikata is preparing to wage war in the name of the shogun, in the knowledge of his impending defeat. Neither Kondo nor Hijikata were born with the blood of samurai. But their souls, that's what makes them samurai. Look at his smile! You're so adorable! You're so pretty! And perhaps it's the deeds that make a warrior, a way of life, not a position to be won. His voice was unfettered by the monotone that usually characterized it so often in the past. I couldn't say for sure, but it seemed as though, just as Saito had hoped to convince me of his strength and reliability, he had also hoped to convince himself. You don't have to convince me, honey, I love you. For as long as I'd known him, I'd seen Saito as serious and single-minded, the sort of man who was steadfast in his convictions and his self-determined purpose. But now it seemed I was beginning to see the side of him that was, for lack of a better word, human. Because he's a robot! Even she knows. Dawn approaches. We should return. You're right. The insects chirped and hummed from the trees as we made our way back to camp. We were nearly there when... Nope. I'm gonna cock block us. I thought it was gonna end scene and then it's when, and I'm like, nope. Something is gonna happen. Something is gonna happen. And we have to stop. We can't keep going. We can't do this forever. Plus, I have to stop recording right now. I can't go too much over. So I can't even, normally I record a couple parts. I'm not recording another part after this. So you have to wait 24 hours. I also have to wait 24-ish hours. So I'm cock blocking both of us. It's not just you. Sometimes I cock block you and I'm like, I'm going to record the next part. I get to see it right away. I don't get to see it for 24 hours. So we're all in the same boat. So anyway. I'm going to wrap this part up here, cock block us all. So there you go, point on the board. And I will see you guys next time. I love this touching moment that we have with him. It's beautiful. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.